Yes, guys, how you doing? Welcome back to Football Inc. and Spurs Talk Show. We're live as we just got the draw for the Europa League. An interesting outcome. We're going to talk about that, the pathway to the final. Talk about whether or not it sort of ruins the fun of the whole thing in the first place by knowing exactly what you're going to get along the way. It's pretty much, apparently, according to Luba, they've even decided who gets the home and away dressing room in the final. It's absolute madness. But either way, we've also got the Champions League to go through. We've got some graphics to pull up, and we're going to talk about both of them with yours truly and the one and only Jonny H. 3232 from Football Inc. fame and from Twitter and Spurs Talk Show, part of the furniture. I hope you're all happy and healthy doing the things you love. Please smash the like button for me on the video wherever you are. Make sure you are smashing the thumb and then get down. I'll pin the link in the chat. Get over the Football Link if you're watching it via Spurs Talk Show and vice versa. Hit the subscribe, get those numbers up, get the view time up, do all the juicy things you love to do. And we appreciate it. Jonny, how are you, my man? How are you, buddy?
I'm okay. Just tuned in for the draw, watch the Champions League draw, watch the Arsenal fans implode when they see who they've got to play next after celebrating a nice, easy first draw. And then settle down for hours. I seem to have cleared up my camera. I looked like I was beaming from planet Mars the other day. So if you're watching on Football Inc., and I was pausing, but my lips weren't moving, but the sound was. Apologies for that. I think we've fixed it now. 21st century problems. So all good. If you're watching on Spurs Talk Show, get on down to Football Inc. We'll be doing lots of football-related stuff. We did some stuff on Arsenal last night, but we'll be doing lots of stuff on, obviously, Spurs, football in general. So go down and give us a subscribe and a like and a comment on that channel. So come on, Shawnee, let's go.
Yes, mate. Let me just quickly get that link in there for us all.com / wait a minute, / 1NC. Bosh. All right, there you go, guys. I think that's the link, and it should be now pinned. So please get over and do yourselves proud. Do your good deed for the day. Go and help Jonny and myself out by getting over there and subscribing. I've given you two options.
We're trying to get to 1,000.
We're 3 away from 1,000. 3 away. It doesn't really matter, but it's important. You know, nice little gestures. We appreciate you. Right, let's get it up. That's what she said. Jonny, how do we do this? We go straight over here. Let's look for the Europa League road to Bilbao. Talk us through it, my man. Talk us through it.
So, listen, we got AZ Alkmaar in the first game. And obviously, we're away for that one. Listen, at home, they're a very good outfit. You know, they smashed Galatasaray. And I mean smashed. They beat Roma. They beat Ajax. You know, they've had a very good season at home. Listen, we struggled to beat them at our ground. I mean, you can say we outplayed them and all the rest of it, but it took a penalty to beat them 1-0.
Without beating, though, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, Richarlison. Mikey Moore had a fantastic game. I don't know if you remember that game. He had a fantastic game, but they were missing. What's his name now? Van Bommel, Ruben Van Bommel, which is Mark Van Bommel's son. He came back. He's now injured again, which is good for us. And Ibrahim Sadiq, their winger from Ghana, he's also now injured. They got Jordi Classy, who's must be getting on now, must be about 34, 35. I don't know how old he is now. But they got the one and only Troy Parrott, 12 goals this season. You know, it's written in the stars that he's likely to score against us. But listen, there won't be any pushover. Pascal Jensen has been quite instrumental in redefining Alkmaar's training methods and their style of play. So, they won't be easy. They play high intensity, physical, mental football, and it uses a wide variety of tactics to keep us guessing. So, who knows? To be honest with you. Who knows?
And the other option that we could have got were Real Sociedad, who drew Manchester United.
That was a tougher draw. I feel that Real Sociedad was a much tougher draw. And Morning, Lisa. Oh, and Kyle. Yeah, we have the one and only Dave Scarlett.
Yeah, it's all coming home. We'll come back. We'll come to the other side of the draw in a minute. Obviously, if we get past Alkmaar, and I think Johnny, we both agree that even though that they're no pushovers, we should be able to overcome them. Obviously, playing. I think it's right to say we're playing at their place first as a seeded team. We should have the second leg at home. Obviously, hopefully for the second half, playing up into the south stand. But hopefully, we'll have most of the job done by the first leg. After that, we'll have to play the winner of an absolutely enticing tie from Central Europe. There, Eintracht Frankfurt against Ajax.
Yeah.
Now, Frankfurt obviously recently lost their sort of number one man at the top end of the pitch. They got another player called is it not El Khaliki? I'll get the name up in a second. A £62 million transfer target for Arsenal in the summer. Very, very scary striker. And at Frankfurt, we played them in the Champions League a couple of years ago.
Eti
Keiki or something like that. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good man. And of course, or it could be Ajax, mate. And obviously Ajax not the same team as they were in previous seasons, but always a threat. European giants of the past. And I don't know really. Like, assuming you get past Alkmaar, I'm not sure when the quarterfinals would be played. I'm guessing, is it late March, probably?
April. April. I think 7th and 14th of April, I believe. Something around that time. Well,
any particular take on those two teams, mate?
Well, look, I'll be honest with you. I think Frankfurt. Well, look, when you put things into perspective, AZ Alkmaar's entire squad is valued at about 78, 80 million euros. And Frankfurt have, one player that's not far off of that. Ajax as well, plenty of good talent. I would say Frankfurt are a real tricky tie here. They're the ones that are going to be the most difficult to beat. Listen, a lot of Spurs fans are very happy with the side of the draw we have. I don't think there is a particularly easier side of the draw, personally, because I think Eintracht Frankfurt and Lazio I highlighted as the two teams that will be our biggest threat at the beginning of the tournament. So to have them both on your side of the draw, I think, listen, if you want to win it, you've got to beat the best. But when you look at the other side of the draw, Roma, Rangers, Lyon, Real Sociedad, Man U, listen, we're going to meet one of them in the final when we get there against Atletico Bilbao at Bilbao Stadium. So I don't know if you want to
squeeze your face over to the right hand side of the screen there, John. Let's get your beautiful little face in behind the other side, mate. Other side. There you go. I can just about see you now.
I don't know what's happened. I think you've halved the screen. I don't know what's happened.
No, it's got an overlay on. Got the picture overlay. I can take it away, but to keep the thing up. And then obviously after that, you've got the other side of the same side, if that makes sense, in Bodo Glimt, who I watched the highlights of that Bodo Glimt against who was it last night? 20? Was it FC 20? I forget who it was.
Listen, Bodo, they've
artificial pitch.
They've conceded the least amount of goals in the competition, only 3 goals in all of their games, which is quite incredible. So, I don't think Olympiacos are going to have it easy. Listen, I expect Lazio to absolutely cruise through whoever they play on that side. And I fully expect it to be, in the semi-final, Lazio or Spurs or Frankfurt playing.
So Lazio should be able to beat Pilsen. I don't know anyone in the Pilsen team. Lazio have obviously got 37-year-old Pedro of Barcelona fame, just tearing it up. I think he's got 9 GA this season in 8 games in the Europa League.
Mad numbers.
Absolutely mad. But at the same time, though, can you imagine, is he really going to have the, he's a strong player, technically amazing. Is he going to be able to dance rings around the kind of, if you were to play someone like a Lucas Bergvall in the, you got the kind of age and wisdom versus inexperience, but tenacity of Lucas Bergvall or Bissouma stepping in there. Do you think he's going to have an easy game in that semi-final? Should we both get there?
Well, I think first of all we got to be looking at getting past Frankfurt, because that's the one for me. They got Guendouzi as well. Don't forget.
Yeah, good
the old
player.
Arsenal boy, who I always thought was a good player. Listen, look, they've got a good team. They got a good team, and they're not going to be easy to beat. It's as simple as that. But let's deal with who we got in front of us at the moment. As I said, we're lucky that AZ Alkmaar have just lost Van Bommel, and they've lost. I've forgotten his name now. Ibrahim Sadiq. Sorry. So he's the threat down the wing, and Van Bommel a threat down the other wing. Really, really good player. I think he's going to be a top talent. But I actually think over the 2 legs we should have enough. But that's saying that it depends what team we put out, Sean. What team are we going to be putting out?
Well, I mean, whatever the team is, it's got to be full strength. I don't want to see any of this. We're holding back any players on the Thursday because we've got Arsenal on the Sunday or something. I don't want any of that stuff. This is our most important competition now. By like, there's not even a shadow of a doubt. Like, if anything, you rest players on the Sunday before so that you're ready for Thursday, right?
I don't care about the league now.
We're not going down, we're not going up, are we? So
no. So for me, it matters not. This is a sliding doors moment for the club. If we can somehow win this trophy to somehow next season be in the Champions League, we've already seen, like Arsenal have made £90 million already at this stage of the competition. The riches are just ridiculous in the Champions League. And that's just 90 million from TV money from UEFA. That doesn't include gate receipts or shirt sales or anything like that. So it's a massive game changer. And for us, it would give us the ability to spend the money in advance, knowing full well we have Champions League football, the ability to attract a better level of player. Because if we don't win this competition, we got no European football. Our income drops through the floor, should I say? And it's going to be hard to. Yeah. Well, we got the roof in the wrong place. If you're Everton, you've got the roof in the wrong place, and it's got a giant leak in it.
Like Manchester United stay. When we become Old Trafford, the revenue drops through the roof.
Yeah, I mean it's massive. It really is massive. I mean, I know Chelsea managed to attract players to the club when they were sat in 15th place and no European football. But when you're competing, if you want to go for top tier players, bearing in mind that we only spend 42% of our income on our wages, we ain't going to be competing with those players. So we're going to have
a skewed stat, mate. You've got to stop using that stat, buddy.
I know, but it's
a load of waffle,
we have to
mate.
be creative. We're going to have to be creative.
Like Tottenham fans are with the way that they create fictitious nonsense with the wage thing. The reason why that happened is because we sold £100 million Harry Kane, so the revenue goes up, and then we also took off Ndombele, who we paid off, so the wages goes down. And then the same with 3 or 4 other senior players. So it's a double skew, as the brilliant Jim from Oso Spurs highlighted last night. And yet those that want to lean into certain statistics because they're facts, there's also context. And that 42% thing is such a misleading number. It's a number. Wild. It's wild.
And it's a number, Shorty. It's a number. It's a number. So listen, I don't know what guys in the chat.
Just quickly. I want to pick up on the Ole Tobias Torreson's. What a name that is, by the way! Absolutely sensational name. I'm guessing, Ole, that you are possibly Norwegian by the name. When you say no one is mentioning how Kjetil Knutsen's Bodo Glimt massacred Angers Celtic a couple of. That's not deliberate. I just didn't know it. I'd imagine that like 80% of people that are watching this probably didn't know that fact. But if that did happen,
Ole.
What a name, though.
Ole. Thanks very much for that bit of information.
Didn't know that. And listen, they were. There was a brilliant little highlight reel. Like the game that went to extra time last night. Bodo Glimt against. I forget who it was. I'm sure it was a Dutch team. I think it was 20. But let me know. Someone tell me in the comments. It was quite a game. Artificial pitch, the snow in the background looked about 10 feet deep. Everyone in the stands, it was like they were jumping up and down, partly to keep warm. The managers had like Parker hoodies or whatever zipped up. It was like they were Eskimos, and the players, the Norwegian players at least, were toughing it out, roughing it out in that must have been sub-zero temperatures up there. I'm guessing, I don't know, but it looked freezing. And listen, but if you happen to draw if Bodo Glimt do get through and Tottenham play them in the semis, I'm guessing by April. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ole, but I'm guessing by then Norway's a little bit warmer, so it's not quite as horrendous an away leg as it probably is in the middle of February.
I haven't been to Norway, so unfortunately, I'm not able to go to the next round. And I really wanted to go to San Sebastian, Real Sociedad. So I'm glad that it's AZ Alkmaar because I've done Amsterdam to death. So I'm quite happy. But the next round, it looks like I could be going to Germany again, Sean. I every single time we go into Europe,
I'm coming with you. I'm coming with you. I don't care. I don't care if I don't have a ticket. I am coming, and we are going brassing and all that stuff, Johnny. I'm going to take you out on a
brassing. You might be brassing. I ain't brassing.
Brasses and bags on the European tour. We're all going on a European tour.
Disclaimer here: Sean's activities are in no relation to my activities. I will be going with my son, right? And we will be having a jolly good time. We'll be eating pizza and
I'll see you afterwards, but just don't shake my hand.
Sausages, and I'll be
just don't shake my hand. You won't know where they've been.
Right, so moving on swiftly. It's a small stadium there, so it won't be easy to get tickets. I think 19,000 seater stadium, so won't be the easiest to get tickets. And they're quite vocal. The old AZ Alkmaar, as you were at the home game, you would have seen them marching down the street, which was quite a sight, doing their clapping.
Yeah.
But listen, in the chat, give us a shout and let us know, are you happy with the draw? Would you prefer to have been on the other side of the draw? So can you do a poll or just put it 1 for this side of the draw, happy, or 0, you prefer
ones and zeros.
Ones and zeros.
That's what we do over here. Ones is the positive, zeros the negative. So ones are you're happy, zeros is you're not happy.
To be on the other side of the draw.
Yeah, let's talk about the other side of the draw, my man. Let's talk about it for a second. Let's get it back up. Where is it? That's what the brasses will be saying to me after a few beers in Holland.
Anyone would think we're being sponsored by Pornhub. We got the colours up. Oh, dear. Right, okay. So Fenerbahce, we got Fenerbahce with Rangers. So I lived in Glasgow for a number of years, and so Glasgow Rangers are my other team. So I'd like to see them go through. So Rangers versus Jose Mourinho. Is Jose going to listen? You can see it's written in the stars. Fenerbahce, run by Jose, could end up meeting Roma, who he left under circumstances. So.
There's nobody, Johnny, just quickly, mate. Sorry, there's absolutely nobody in the chat that would rather be on the other side of the draw.
Okay, that's fair enough.
That's great. Fair enough.
It's interesting, though, because nearly everybody, what I don't understand is everybody said the two main dangers in the competition right at the start were Eintracht Frankfurt and Lazio. Yeah, so it's interesting that now they're saying they're very happy when they're on the side of the draw of both of them. Make that what you will.
I think a lot of people wanted to avoid Roma. A lot of people probably wanted to avoid the fact that Roma and Bilbao, they're quietly getting better, right? And the fact that Roma have got Bilbao, one of those two teams are going to be knocked out. And look, Jose Mourinho, Fenerbahce, you probably, even though Fenerbahce are not Galatasaray, you didn't really fancy us in this, I guess it would have been the semi-final by looking at it. You didn't really fancy going out to Turkey. That'd be a like horrendous, stressful experience for the players, no doubt, and for the fans. And so you've avoided like the difficult place to go. You've avoided the better team in Bilbao as probably the best team out there. Sociedad probably better than Alkmaar. So for this stage of the draw, we got away with one, and also one of United and Sociedad are going to be out of the way as well, right? So in terms of
how the feeling, So what are you feeling here for the final? So if we were to make it to the final,
yeah.
guys,
well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. I'll just go through my victors. I think that Tottenham will beat Alkmaar. I think that Frankfurt will sneak past Ajax, but it'll be a close one. I think that. I think Bodo will get past Olympiacos. Yeah. Although that's a difficult one as well. And Lazio will get past. So Lazio, Olympiacos, I think Lazio will get past. But again, it'll be Lazio versus Bodo Glimt. Sorry. I think Lazio will get past them. Yeah. I'm going to stick true and say Tottenham will be able to beat Frankfurt. On the other side, I think Fenerbahce will get past Rangers. I think Bilbao will get past Roma. Lyon versus Lyon will win that one. And I think Sociedad will beat United. So I think Sociedad will then beat Lyon and will play.
Rangers won't beat Fenerbahce because I think Rangers are doing very well in Europe. It's a strange.
No, they are. They are. I just wouldn't want to go to Turkey, mate. And I don't really. I'm sure Fenerbahce fans don't really fancy going to Scotland, to be entirely honest.
Thank you very much. Yeah,
they're both difficult places to play. It'll be a tough one. I don't expect there to be a lot of goals in that game. I think it will be just a bit of a. I'll definitely be dialing in to watch it though. But yeah, I probably would say Fenerbahce. Just I think that Jose Mourinho will find a way. He usually does. So I think that Bilbao will get through to the semi against Sociedad on that side of the draw. And I think Tottenham will play Lazio in the semis on the other side of the draw. And then the final will be Tottenham against Bilbao in Bilbao.
Okay.
You?
Well, I like to see, obviously, I want to see Tottenham go through. I mean, I think we've got, I'm not quite understanding why people are so happy that we're going to be playing Frankfurt and Lazio. Like I said, when they were the two teams which were deemed the hardest to beat other than Man United in it. But I'm going to go for us getting to the final anyway, because I think Spursy is somehow we're going to get there. And do you know what? Although they're playing terrible, wouldn't it be mad if the two teams that are absolutely shocking at the moment both made it to the final? I can't see Spurs and Man U, but I can see Spurs. I can see Rangers, funny enough, causing an upset. I really can. So I'm going to go Spurs v. I'm going to go Spurs versus Lyon.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to go for. I'm going to be Lyon versus Fenerbahce or Rangers in the semi-final. Again, people seem to be dismissing Lyon.
No, well, they're a good team, but they lost a couple of their players in the January window, didn't they? So
they did. So yeah. So that's the question: have they let them go, and it's going to cost them dear, or have they got adequate backup?
Who's FCSB? Sorry. What's their actual name?
You've actually got me there. I'm gonna have to look it up. Hang on.
Is it a team from Eastern Europe?
FCSB.
Steaua Bucharest. There you go.
Steaua Bucharest, yeah. Steaua Bucharest.
Bucharest is that Hungary, is it?
They beat Pau Salonika, that well-known force. Steaua
Bucharest. Where's Bucharest? Is Bucharest in Hungary? Is it Hungary?
No. Come on. Steaua
Where is it?
Romania.
Romania. Sorry, that's it. Yeah. So come on. Listen, mate. Geography's not as good, not as much my strong point. I'm a numbers guy, not a maths guy. You know, topography isn't my thing.
Yeah, no, I'm into maths. Right. Okay. So, should we now have a look at the other Hungary? I know.
What's the capital of Hungary then?
Bucharest, no, Hungary. Oh, sorry, Hungary. Sorry, sorry. I thought you were talking about. Romania.
What are we doing here? Hungary.
Let's move on. Come on. Let's move on.
Budapest. Hang about Bucharest and Budapest. You can forgive me for that one, can't you?
No, mate, listen, all I know is pest is the only common denominator,
and that's what I'll be doing in Germany and in Holland.
Yeah, being a pest. Right. Okay. Right. So let's move on to. Shall we move on to the Champions League draw?
Yeah, we will. Yeah, just give me a couple of seconds to get rid of this particular overlay, and then I've got to do a super chat. Here we go. Get rid of that for a second.
Overlay.
Drew Zilla in the house, pick up. Drew said, remember to smash a like and subscribe to Spurs Talk Show and Football Inc. Thank you, Drew. Really appreciate it. Guys, I haven't looked at the numbers, can't see it right now, but there's 750 people watching this across the three things on Twitter and on the various YouTubes. But do get up the top, smash the subscribe button, hit the link and to Football Inc. Smash the subscribe. Jonny and I just about to get over 1,000, and they'll be obviously putting out more content over the day and over the weeks to come. Thank you very much, Drew. Appreciate you, my man. Always appreciate you. Let's see. There's another one as well. Big D, member for 13 months. Ideal draw. We should make the finals. Should. A couple of tough games in there.
People are dismissing these same people. Listen, I believe we're going to go to the final, but I'm just laughing at the fact that the same people who are so 100% positive that it's a dream and a doddle were the same ones that were saying, I hope we don't get Lazio. I hope we don't get Eintracht.
All they're saying is, would you rather be this side of the draw or that side of the draw?
Yeah. Okay.
So you'd rather be this side of the draw. I think that's all they're saying. I think. Let me know. 1 if I'm right, 2 0 if I'm wrong. Let's move on to thank you very much, and also the Big D. Thank you very much, my man. Appreciate you. Let's get up the Champions League. You're having a laugh. Here we go. PSV versus Arsenal. Madrid versus Atleti. Unbelievable. That is an absolute mouth-watering draw. Paris Saint-Germain against Liverpool. Club Brugge against Aston Villa. And on the other side, Benfica, Barcelona, Dortmund, Lille, Bayern Munich against Leverkusen, German. I didn't think the two teams from the same country could.
But it's all new format now. It will be no All England final. That's what I love about this draw and this new format. I really do like it. Personally, there's no shirking, and when you get those 8 games at the beginning, there's no like group of 4 where they've only got one hard team to beat and it's all over. After 3 games, this one. Look at City. They were scrapping it to even qualify for the knockout stages. But that left side of the draw is, wow, it's eye-watering, really, in comparison, I believe. Obviously, there's great teams on the right-hand side of the draw in the blue. But, listen, Arsenal...
PSV are no mugs, by the way. PSV are a really, really good team. And I've been saying this for a long time.
Now. Van Persie's just gone there, so they've got no manager. They've just appointed Van Persie now, so it'll be a homecoming for him to be playing Arsenal, and then obviously to be playing them at the Emirates. But
they have a player in there on their left wing, Jonny, who I was aware of last year. Noah Lang, 25 years old.
Yeah,
go and look at his highlight reel. He reminds me of Ian Robben, but he's a little bit like a Danny Olmo as well when he plays centrally. But he's a small guy who can just dribble invert, powerful right foot, a wand of a pass, great crossing ability, and an absolute pinger of a shot. And he's done it. He did it at Club Brugge at the start of his career. He got a 1 in every 2 games. He would get either a goal or an assist, mainly a goals. He went to the next level in Holland, and he's done the same there. He's only 25 and he's just got enough tenacity in him as well. I'd love to see him come into Tottenham. He's so much versatility in him and he could just do all the things that Tottenham want. I don't know if he would leave PSV right now, but
I've got to tell you,
if you're the right back at Arsenal, you're not going to have a nice night playing them.
I've got to tell you that big up to all the Dutch teams in the competition. I mean, PSV absolutely smashed Juventus 3-1. And our old boy, Ivan Perisic, he's finished.
Unbelievable.
He's unbelievable. Scored another goal. I mean, I was gutted we got rid of him. I mean, what a cross he's got. You talk about him, but Perisic. I would say they beat him 3-1. I just think that, aggregate score 4-3. I think it was a monumental win. And, with Feyenoord beating AC Milan as well. Dutch football's really had a real boost because I think, had you looked at that, I thought, what's his name was coming in as the manager now at PSV.
He's at Feyenoord, Van Persie.
Oh, you might be. Yeah, sorry. I'm getting them all mixed up. now. Van Persie at Feyenoord. Yep. My bag got that one wrong.
Noah Lang and Bakayoko. Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then they've got, like you say, even Perisic, Johnny, he's just been brilliant again this season. That guy just tireless, he looks like a fine wine,
How
gets
old is
better
he
with
now?
age.
He's 30
Unbelievable.
what now, is he? Even Perisic?
30, must be 36, 35, 36.
I don't know. What I would say is that Perisic, the thing about Perisic, he can cross a ball from a standing start. So he doesn't need to be beating his man. He doesn't need the pace to beat his man.
Yeah.
His delivery is sensational. So listen, it won't be easy for him. I don't know why I thought. I don't know why I got those mixed up with PSV
It happens.
And at finals, obviously, he's one of our favourites, mate, isn't it? David Hanko.
Yeah, love him. Who have they got? They've got Inter Milan. That's going to be a tough one for them. Inter Milan just absolutely sensational under Inzaghi. Again, though, I think that I think when you look at these like, would you rather be on the left or the right of both sides? I think that you're going to come up against good teams on either side. That's the way that the system is set up, right? But if you're looking at this one, Johnny, let's just walk through it quickly. PSV versus Arsenal. You'd probably, Arsenal are just too good at the back for me. So you'd probably say Arsenal over two legs, unless you disagree. But then if you don't, then Real Madrid against Atleti. What a game. What a mouth-watering tie that is going to be.
Simeone versus Ancelotti. And I mean, listen, let's be honest, right? Anyone thinking that Real Madrid are just going to steamroll Atletico obviously didn't watch the, I don't know if you watched the game, which was a couple of weeks ago.
Saw the highlights. Yeah,
1-1 draw. That ain't going to be any easy game for Real Madrid, let me tell you. So, Arsenal could easily be playing Atletico Madrid in the next round. Easily.
Yeah, even if they're not. And if they are, by the way, like I think the Arsenal season finishes at the quarterfinal stage because I don't think they're good enough to get past either of those two teams.
Well,
without the firepower, I think that Atletico Madrid can get a 1-goal lead. If they are playing at home first, they might nick a 1-goal away and then just stink the place out. And without Arsenal's firepower at the top end of the pitch, we were speaking, I think it was yesterday, Johnny, about how Mikel Merino is their kind of savior in the last couple of days, but he's a defensive midfielder. How do Arsenal get through the next 3 months without?
Well, they're hoping
without their firepower, right?
They're hoping that Saka might be back by April. So I don't know whether that's pushing it in too early, and that's not realistic. But they'll be hoping for that. But listen, I would say Arsenal would probably beat PSV, but it won't be easy. Listen, just be serious, right? Juventus are no rollover mugs, and they got beat 3-1. It's as simple as that. So I think Real Madrid should, although it's difficult, overcome them. Paris Saint-Germain against Liverpool. Liverpool
all day long, isn't it?
Liverpool tiring?
Possibly. I just don't see, as much as I think Paris Saint-Germain have got an incredible front firepower, I just don't think they've got the defense that can keep out the
only thing I would say,
the talent Liverpool have got. They have to double up against Mo Salah, and then when they do that, all right, look, Darwin Núñez can be a bit of a donkey, but he's not necessarily going to start. You've got Jota, you've got you've got
Diaz.
His name? Diaz, Luis Diaz. I was going to say Suarez. Luis Diaz on the left, and obviously you've got Szoboszlai who could just sit in that 10 and just cause absolute mayhem. The guy's what? It's just insane.
Top team. The only thing I would say, Sean, is that PSG are going to walk the title. Okay, so they can easily rest 3 or 4 players and make them fresh for the game, whereas Liverpool do not have that luxury at all.
Yeah,
they just don't.
7 points. 7 points at gap.
So they have to be playing. Every single one of those players is going to have to be playing every single game. Conor Bradley
don't have any injuries though, mate. They don't have any injuries.
Conor Bradley's just gone. Gomez is just gone. So to say they've just had 2 big injuries at the back there. So to say they don't have any injuries.
They haven't really. They've got away with it.
Well, they just had 2 now, and what's his name just come back. So I think I expect Liverpool to go through, but I don't think it will be a cakewalk.
Next tie, though, is interesting. Aston Villa fans are probably going to be looking at that one going, well, they got the best of what was available on that side of the draw. But Club Brugge, or Brugge, unbelievable effort against one of the Italian teams in the last round in the 32 playoff. That guy Taubi, Sava mentioned him the week before. Came up with a brace away in Italy.
Atalanta, yeah.
Atalanta, yeah.
3-1.
Bruges are no mugs. And if you're Aston Villa, you're probably thinking, I'd rather them than anybody else on that side. But at the same time, Club Bruges are probably sitting there going, I'd rather Villa than most of the other teams on that side of the draw. So I think both teams are looking at that particular fixture thinking, got a good chance here. Villa, of course, are no mugs, but they're not used to being at this level of competition for this deep, for this long. So, and they're struggling in the league as well, Aston Villa, right? They're only, what are they, 9th, 10th? So,
I don't know about are they?
I think Villa are 10th.
Are they?
Yeah, I think so.
I stopped trying to look at the. I got to be honest with you. I stopped trying to look at the league when we started sinking further and further.
Yeah, Villa aren't having a fantastic season, right? So there's every chance that this is Villa's only path back into Europe next season as well. And when you look at that wage ratio that they've got, 96%, that isn't filtered, isn't manipulated by context. It is what it is. Then, you've got to be looking. I mean, obviously they have got the benefit of earning 75 million euros thus far to get to where they've got to, but they might get past Club Bruges. They probably will think that they're the favourites, and they should be. But after that, I don't see them getting past Liverpool or Paris, although they did put up a good shift against against Liverpool in the league a couple of days ago. Where do you see that particular tie going, mate? Bruges versus Villa.
Well, I wouldn't have thought Bruges. I didn't honestly think that Bruges would get past
Atalanta. Yeah.
Atalanta. Yeah, I really didn't see it. I mean, let's be honest, right? The money that they're making right now, Bruges, back to our conversation we had the other day about the distribution of wealth in football. Club Bruges and some of these other clubs, PSV and all the rest of it, they have never seen the sort of money that they're earning and they're going to earn from this competition this year. And I think it's going to make them more competitive. I really do. And Club Bruges, when you look at them side by side, you would think that Villa should win easily. But we can see now, just because they're not a team full of stars, it's how you play as a collective. And Bruges, they didn't make life easy for Man City, did they? Let's be honest.
No.
So
no, look. Club Brugge are really, really. I mean, obviously they don't have the financial capacity, generally speaking, to compete at the top end. But this is, to your point the other day, this is where they do get to continue their conveyor belt of talent, and they do have an absolute unbelievable ability. They are like a Brighton or a Brentford in that they know what's coming through next. They seem to be able to develop the best young talent in that part of the world.
They're all young. Yeah,
all very young, but they play a balanced version of football that's incredibly difficult to play. And if you're not used to playing against a team like that, then you can get kind of steamrolled a little bit by the enthusiasm and the craft that they have in their relative inexperience. But like they are, one of the benefits of being the best team in a smaller league is that you are constantly used to winning. And so, that momentum can carry you forward into games where you're the underdogs in Europe and get great results. And as people in the chat are saying, they did beat Villa in the group stage, so in the league stage. So not easy for either team, but a really mouth-watering tie.
Team. I think they're the surprise team. Yeah, really. I mean, look, their average age is 24 years of age. That's their average, which is really, really low.
Tottenham.
Well, I think it might actually be lower than Spurs, actually, when I think about it. But, there's no sort of superstars there. Obviously, if they carry on like this, there's obviously going to be players there that are going to be targeted. But as I say, as a collective, Bruges are absolutely smashing it now. And they definitely cannot take anything for granted, Aston Villa, in that game. Should we have a look at the other side of the draw?
Yeah, let's have a look. So we've got. Well, let's just quickly. So, who do you see? Who are the four victors going into the quarter?
So I see Arsenal, Real Madrid, Liverpool, and I'm going to go Club Bruges.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. I agree with that. For some reason, I don't know why, but I feel like Aston Villa have become a rival of Tottenham, and I don't really. I mean, it might even stem back to mine and Sava's Barney about Villa about 2 years ago, where ever since then I've had this desire to see them crumble. Yeah. I don't know why. Little brownie points in the YouTube community. Thus far, Sava is on top in that particular debate. Moving across the other side, Benfica, Barcelona. Nice little kind of southwestern Europe derby, but are we honestly thinking anything other than a Barcelona victory there?
Well, you never know which Benfica is going to turn up. Let's be serious. You know, they're two very talented squads, high technical football, lots and lots of talent. It'll be a great game of football to watch. So if you want to watch actual football, unlike probably what Atletico and Real Madrid will be, which will be a grill fest. I think, you know, it will be a fight to the death. I think this will be more technical, more of a basketball match. Two teams absolutely going at it with Hansi Flick and his outfit with the Benfica. I'd like to see Barcelona obviously go through, but I wouldn't be surprised if Benfica give them trouble. But obviously, I'm going to go for Barca.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think Benfica are obviously one of the bigger teams, one of the big 3 or 4 teams in Portugal, and they've got. Again, we're talking about Club Brugge's conveyor belt of talent. Benfica have sold.
Well, that's
I think now it's something like 1.2 billion euros worth of talent in the last 10 years. Something mad like that. Benfica have just got this unbelievable. When you add all that up, right, and then how much they paid for those players, a lot of them coming through from South America, the traditional method.
Yeah,
a lot of them coming through that youth system that they've got over there as well. And then you put, I don't know what their number, where they ranked on that kind of revenue list so far, but they probably picked up sort of somewhere 40 odd million euros as well from getting this far. They'll probably get another 10 before they get out of the competition. A brilliantly well-run club, but I just think that Barcelona are probably going to be too strong. Next one, they'll be meeting the winners of either Dortmund or Lille.
I love this tie. I mean, look, for me, you know, I'm a big fan of Jonathan David. You know, I know you weren't so much at the beginning, but you've come on side now. 2-footed. Yeah. He's a goal machine. Just keeps on scoring, and I think a lot of teams will be clamouring for him in the summer. You got Angel Gomez as well, another one that's going to be out of contract in the summer. It's going to be a good tie, I feel, this one. Sean, what are you thinking? I mean, Dortmund, you don't need to say, you know, Gittins. There's so much talent, so much young talent in the Dortmund team. And, you know, Lille, the same. I'm not quite sure which way I'd go on this one.
Yeah, I think there's goals in it. I would imagine both teams win their home games. But I would lean Dortmund. I just think they've got more pedigree in.
Definitely pedigree for sure. Yeah. If you're talking pedigree, then Dortmund, it's a walkthrough. But you know, Lille, they've definitely got at least 2 or 3 danger men there in that team that are going to cause Dortmund troubles. The next one, I've got to tell you, these games, I'm not going to.
There's some absolute belters. I'd rather these games were played on different nights. Like do one on a Monday, do a couple on a Monday, couple on a Tuesday, couple. Do you know what I mean? So that you can see, because I don't want to miss any of these games. I think all of them are watchable. All of them are belters. You know.
Yeah. The next one is going to be, you know, it's huge, isn't it? Harry Kane at the moment went off with an injury. Not sure how serious that is for Bayern Munich. So I think maybe they'll fancy their chances. Leverkusen are giving Bayern a good game, but Bayern are sort of romping away with the title at the moment. But that means nothing when it comes to a cup game, right?
Yeah, look, I'm rooting for Bayern Munich for this tournament personally. I was on Sava's show earlier, and Sava was like, you know, I don't really have a dog in this particular fight, in this particular tournament. So I think he said that he was rooting for a final between, who did he say? I think he said Real Madrid against Barcelona. I think he said, which could happen, which would be great. But personally, you know, I'm all about Tottenham, and I'll try and find any way to get Tottenham back into my thought processes, even in a tournament that doesn't directly affect us, but indirectly, I think it does, because, you know, if Harry Kane wins the Champions League as well as the Bundesliga, then I think that will settle any argument about him going to a Farmers League to win the trophy to get that monkey off his back. Because yes, you can make the argument if he walks away with the Bundesliga title, then that was always going to happen, and it was just easy pickings. But yeah, you know, if he gets the Champions League as well, and he can go, right, you know what, I've done the Champions League, I've done the Bundesliga, I'm a title winner, I'm a Champions League winner. the only thing, and I've got about 300,000 different Premier League accolades for this and that. The big one that's outstanding, obviously, is Alan Shearer's record. And I think if he's more likely to be okay, to open-minded to come back to England if Munich were to win the Champions League. And I'd love to see Harry Kane back at Tottenham. People saying, where's he going to play in this system? Is, you know, he can't do the press at 32 that Ange wants him to do in the 9. I think you can make the argument that he could just fall back into the 10 and be just as devastatingly impactful and not have to run as much. Just like James Maddison doesn't either, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, it's the finals in Munich. So Leverkusen will definitely be looking to stop any dream scenario of them hosting and playing in the final come May. So listen, I think it's going to a fantastic game of football. One I'm really looking forward to. And the next one I'm really looking forward to because I've got a bit of a soft spot for Feyenoord due to the fact that you know, I
love all of their players.
Well, I was a massive Arne Slot fan. I was hoping he was going to come to Spurs. We all know he didn't, and where he's gone now. But you know, we like David Hanko. We like a lot of the players there, and the fact that Feyenoord will go there boosting in confidence. Now that, you know, they've just beaten top Italian team. Personally, going back, I would rather see Harry come back and Ange go, and we put him in a system that suits him.
Yeah, but this is, again, let me just pull away from the screen because I want to see your face when I ask you this question. Make sure you don't chortle at the notion. But look, you know, I was calling out a lot of the Tottenham fans that have been vehemently Levy out. And then I was saying that, you know, in that 2-week absence that I took, a lot of the Johnny come latelys moved across to the Levy out stuff. And then some of the more hardcore Levy outers, I believe, more as a psychological way of differentiating themselves from the recent advocates, were then moving to more extreme positions where they were saying things like, you know, relegation is good for our cause and trophies are now bad.
Why are we on this?
No, because I'm leading somewhere. The notion that there's a lot of Ange outers who don't want to see him at the club now and dread to think about him being at the club next season, right? And so I'll ask a similar question to you guys in the audience as well as you, Johnny. Forget about Levy, but for the Ange outers, and I know you're one of them, does the prospect of winning a trophy like the Europa League, which would likely, in all likelihood, you cannot sack Ange if he wins the Europa League. He's the most successful manager at Tottenham in 40 years. If he does that, he's going to be here next season. But we haven't really seen too much in the way of progress in terms of the football, in terms of the output, in terms of the outcomes, that would make you think that next season would be a brilliant transition towards better outcomes if Ange was still here. So would you be on board? And here's the two notions. Tottenham win the Europa League, and then you don't get Harry Kane, and you do get Harry Kane, and you lose Ange, or Tottenham win the Europa League, and you don't get Harry Kane, and you keep Ange.
Listen, look, I'm not going to multiple. I've said on numerous occasions, whatever I feel about Ange, right? If Ange goes on to lift the trophy, I will sit in front of every single stream and sit there and apologise. I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with any of it, right?
That's not the question. I was not saying that.
I don't need a whole multitude of ifs, buts, and whats and maybes, because I just think it's a pointless discussion. I would be delighted if Spurs go on under Ange to win the title, and he ends up staying next season. That would be the upshot of it, whatever I may think. And if Harry Kane comes back, I'll be equally delighted. I only want the success of the football club. That's all I'm interested in. Okay.
Yeah.
My thoughts and what I think about a player or a manager is absolutely irrelevant. It's just one opinion in hundreds of thousands of opinions, but we just happen to be on here ready to be shot down when we get it wrong. But I personally, I don't think that the manager is tactically astute enough and flexible enough when he comes up against the top teams to actually win it. And if he does, then I will rejoice, just like everyone else.
Do you think that Ange and the manager?
Unlike Billy T, who's saying to me that if Ange wins, I've got to get an Ange tattoo. Absolutely not. I might get another tattoo, but I'm definitely not getting an Ange tattoo. Sorry.
But do you think if we win the Europa League,
yeah,
it doesn't matter if we have an extra 200 million quid to spend, which, by the way, you could easily justify Tottenham dropping that much money in the summer if we were to win the Europa League. You could, financially and ambitious wise. But even then, do you think Ange is tactically capable of handling the Champions League?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't. I just listen.
But you'd be okay with him staying because he deserves to on merit.
Because he would have deserved to based on merit. And if the season starts and we start again in a poor manner again, then the questions will be asked. Listen, look, whatever I thought, I was one of those people who came here in January. Sorry, not January, December, when we lost the games against Chelsea, and I was still saying, wait, you're falling apart. No, wait. You'll see when we get all our players back, we're going to be the team. You'll see we're going to smash everyone. And unfortunately, after that January, when we started to get the players back, we lost another 7 games. We kept one clean sheet in 20. The score was the results were poor, and the tech and the data and the stats was poor. And we've started again this season. Poor. So look, we've still got an option. We've still got a chance. And whilst we're in it, I'm on board.
Sorry, I wasn't asking you that question because of your specific take. I asked the boys last night that same question. Yeah. It's just a question I think is worth asking to everyone in the chat as well.
100%.
Ones and zeros. If Tottenham win the Europa League, let's assume therefore, and it's right to do so, that Ange should be given next season. Are you comfortable, and do you think that Ange can do it? Can progress Tottenham next season when you have the same amount of games potentially, but obviously also the added difficulty of harder games in the Champions League? 1 for back Ange to figure it out. 0 if you have your concerns about that. Just want to get the take from the audience. So 1's for positive towards Ange next season in a world where he's here in the Champions League. 0 if no.
And let me tell you something, if he goes out, it will be sunset, mate. That will be his lot. That will be his lot.
Let's just get back to finishing off this Champions League situation then. So on the left-hand side of the draw, we said Arsenal, Real Madrid, Liverpool and Bruges.
Yeah.
On the right side of the draw, Johnny, you're saying Barcelona, Dortmund, Munich, and I didn't get your take on the last.
No, I'm going to go Feyenoord. I'm
Feyenoord.
I'm going for Feyenoord to shock Inter.
And then after that, so it would be Barcelona versus Dortmund?
No, it's Barcelona versus Dortmund. Yeah. I'm having a mare today.
And who would you pick out of those two in the quarters, sorry?
Yamin Lamau, Hansi Flick. Yeah, I'll go for Barca.
Yep, same. Munich against Feyenoord?
Well, you'd have to go Munich. Listen, I'm not 100% sure without Harry Kane. If Harry is injured, which he is
he injured? I didn't know this. When did he get injured, by the way?
He got injured. He went off. He tried to play through the game the other day, and he came off. I think he came off at half time. So I would say that's a tricky one. Without Harry Kane, Bayern aren't as effective, and Leverkusen have got a very good team. I mean, they got one of my favourites there, Pierre Hincapié, who I'd love to see at Spurs as well. So I think that's 50-50. I really do. With Harry Kane, I expect Bayern to go through. Without him, I think Leverkusen have got every chance.
Sorry, I was just looking at the ones and zeros. Did you say what the severity of his injury was? I didn't hear. Sorry, mate.
No, hang on a second. I'll just check it.
Whilst you're checking that, just to update, I'm not a counting guy, but I reckon there's a slight lean, maybe 60-40 towards backing Ange, essentially, that with a better squad, with the money being spent correctly, that he can handle and get decent output from.
Oh, here we go.
From the Champions League.
Just released. There's a Bayern Munich released Harry Kane injury statement. A star is ruled out for an indefinite period. Harry Kane, England captain, is set for a spell on the sidelines after aggravating a calf injury during Bayern Munich's meeting with Celtic in the Champions League midweek, which is a big thing. Wow. Kane limped out of Bayern Munich's Champions League game and went for a scan after a flare-up of the calf injury suffered in the build-up to the game. I'm not quite sure why he played, because he had a niggle already. The England captain Kane has now been ordered to cut back on training. It is likely to miss Bayern's game with Eintracht Frankfurt this weekend. Oh, hang on. But he's hoping it will be a short layoff. How can you have an indefinite period?
Well, indefinite just means we're not sure yet, do we?
Yeah, that's it. You had the scan. It's all clickbait.
It's fine. It's fine.
Anyway, Bayern needs this club statement.
I like the clickbait. I like the clickbait. It's fine.
Unspecified, and added Harry Kane has to cut back. Listen, it might be one of Angie's. He'll be back soon. But listen, I think it's a big one. I think he won't be in the England squad that's named. That's best. Talking about Hincapi, Sean, I know you like players.
Independiente del Valle.
Yes, they are.
Where are they based?
They are based in Ecuador, right?
Okay.
And
I'll check them out on the Y Scout. I'm not sure if my subscription stretches to Ecuador. It might do.
This outfit in Ecuador are producing tons and tons of talent.
Is that where Caicedo came through?
Yeah, the Caicedo and Estupiñán.
Right.
Yeah. How do I know that? And I can't even remember. I forgot. I don't know how I got Van Persie wrong before, so apologies. But it happens to us all.
Don't worry, mate. Everyone says things. I think I said, what did I say yesterday? I forget what it was. I said something absolutely outrageously stupid.
You could never be an MP because you'd be talking about hookers.
I think given the state of our politicians, I'm pretty sure I'd fit right in. I think I'd fit right in up in old Westminster, you know.
All I say, no one harmed in the making of this video.
Sean, you live for the summer transfer. I love the summer transfer clickbait every day. I haven't had a chance to get out and do one. It's been a dry week. It's been a dry week for clickbait. So you've seen me. Into.
Hang on a minute. It's been a dry week for clickbait. Are you having a laugh? We did Spurs to
Qatar. Yeah. Twisted that into 5 hours of content, didn't we?
Yeah, Daniel Levy clickbait. That's Daniel Levy clickbait, and he loves a bit of clickbait. And let's be honest, right? If we were to purchase all the people we've been linked with in the last week due to the protest, we would have a squad of about 47 players by now.
Yeah,
Hincapi,
like
there you go.
Like Imagine if I wish I was a Chelsea fan. The amount of clickbait you could throw out there, and half of it comes true because they just gobble up everyone that they can. Madness.
Foxy Estupiñán. Am I getting them mixed up? He's I thought Estupiñán was Ecuador. No, I can't.
He might be from Ecuador, but it doesn't mean he necessarily came through that particular.
Yeah, but I know.
I think he's Ecuadorian. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Let's just get back to this. So what we're saying here, let me get rid of the comment for a second. We're saying, so Arsenal versus Real. Are we saying that Real gets past them in the quarterfinal there, Johnny? Yeah.
Arsenal get past Real Madrid?
No, sorry, Real Madrid get past Arsenal, sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah. And then Liverpool probably get past Club Brugge.
Yes.
But then Barcelona.
Yeah, so I'd say Liverpool versus Real Madrid in the semi-final. In the semi-final, yeah. And on the other side, I would say
Barcelona, Bayern Munich.
Yeah, depending on Harry Kane. And I think we'd be very happy with those semi-finals. Real Madrid, Barcelona, Real Madrid versus Liverpool, Barcelona, Bayern Munich. Guys, in the comments, let us know your semi-final.
Yeah.
And final, if you can.
Who's your finalist then?
Well, I think it really depends on. Well, Real Madrid is still battling it out for the La Liga. So I don't know if they'll be able to rest people. Liverpool really can't rest people because I think Arsenal are sniffing around them. So I don't know. I'm going to go Real Madrid versus Bayern. Yeah, same as me, Dante.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Real Madrid. Yeah. In their home stadium. But Harry Kane's going to be a big part of that if they can get him. If they can get him up. I mean, the first leg, if I'm not mistaken, is no more than about 8-9 days away. So
yeah, it's not far, but I think that you're right. Bayern Munich Leverkusen is an absolute mouth-watering tie as well. It's a shame that some of these games we played at the same time because you can't have
a nightmare. I mean, I mean, right now. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to watch PSV Arsenal. Arsenal fans, I'm sure you will be. Real Madrid, Atletico, I might give that a miss depending what day it is because I know it will be a grinded out competitive game.
You can't miss Madrid Atleti, mate. That's an absolute belter.
I know, but it depends what game. It depends what other game is. Look, I watched the Real Madrid Atletico Madrid, the derby. I watched that. It was fantastic.
I don't know why they can't do like a game at 5, a game at 7:30, and a game at 9:30. A game at 9:30 as well. Like people can go to bed at 11 o'clock at the end of the world.
Maybe they will do that. Maybe they will do that.
I don't think there's ever been. I mean, I don't know. I doubt there'll be a game.
Why not 6 and 8 or 6 and 8:15?
Well, no, I think they probably will have 2 games on the evening, like they do currently. But they started the first game at 5:30, the second game at 7:30. The third, they can have a third game at 9:30, so that everyone can, half of Europe has the siesta anyway.
Week. Are they doing it because last time they staggered them out over weeks, but they're not doing it this time like that, are they? The later stages, they have, I think it's the next round they might do that.
Yeah, Adam D's saying they did them at different times during COVID. No reason they couldn't do it.
Yeah,
I don't know. It is what it is. But yeah, there's some absolute mouth-watering ties in both competitions. So ultimately, Johnny, what are we saying by May the 20th, 2025? Are Tottenham going to be European champions? And are
you can see? Listen, you can
Real Madrid
see
or Bayern?
Ange standing there with the Europa League in his hand, holding it. It is what it is, mate.
I told you, mate. Second year.
I told you, second year. Always win something. And now I'm off to a Bobby. And that will be that. Listen, we'd love to see things you'd love to see as a Spurs fan. That would be whoever's lifting Sonny lifting the cup. But who knows?
It'd be great for him. It'd be awesome for him to lift the trophy. He's been such a great servant.
Without dreams as a football fan, you might as well give up because we all start the season dreaming of everything and end up walking home with a tail between our legs. Now, I would say Real Madrid. I'm going to go Spurs, Real Madrid. How about that? There you go.
Yeah, I don't mind. I'm okay with that as well. Let me just last question for you then. The game against AZ Alkmaar and the first leg of that is on the scheduled to be the 6th of March, but it might change. Here you go. Amazing. So we are scheduled to play Manchester City on Wednesday, the 26th of Feb, a week earlier. Now, given that it's a week earlier, do you go full strength against Ipswich, full strength against City, and then full strength against AZ Alkmaar, knowing that you've got to play Bournemouth at home 3 days later?
Don't care about.
Or do you rest? Where do you rest players? Do you rest players against City, or do you rest players against Bournemouth, or do you not rest anyone and you just go full strength?
Don't rest anyone. We got players that are coming back who haven't played, right? There's no excuses on the rotation story now, Sean. Okay, everything is available, right?
Well, you say that, but we got players that haven't played, but we like that if they're just back from injury.
Hasn't stopped Ange before, has it?
But he is, in terms of like giving minutes to players that are coming back from injury, he is more reluctant to throw them back in, right?
You mean the 2 defenders? Other than that, he's thrown everyone back in without a problem.
Well, James Maddison didn't get thrown in straight away, right? He's been bled in. Richarlison, obviously, look, he gave Richarlison too many minutes, and look what happened. I don't know if it's the same injury or not, but all I'm saying is that, yeah, okay, fine. But my point is that we have got players coming back, but their match fitness is not there. So how do you juggle that
match
when you've
fitness,
got
right? So you have rotation and you have minutes, so you can play them 50 minutes, 60 minutes, not bringing a player like Richarlison back and making him play 80 minutes when he's been out for 4 months. You have muscle injuries. Look, we know whatever you want to tell us, right, that Mickey van der Ven, in my opinion, Mickey van der Ven and Romero were brought back too quickly. Odegaard went off against Coventry, was rushed back too quickly, broke down again, and was out for months. So let's have a look at this here.
Okay, so here we go. So we got Ipswich Town tomorrow. Then we've got. I might, you know what? I might get a ticket for that and go up to Ipswich. I'd like to. I've never been to Portman Road before. I'd like to go. Then you've got City midweek. Then you've got You've got 8 days before AZ Alkmaar, so you could make the argument to go full strength City and give the players that are coming back, 20, 30, 40 minutes and give them another 60 or whatever against AZ Alkmaar. Then you've got Bournemouth, who are ridiculously strong. And if Tottenham do have any hope, just in case the AZ Alkmaar story goes south, then Tottenham are going to need to pick up points against City and Bournemouth to be able to close the gap on Fulham and Villa and everyone else that are in those 4 or 5 spots ahead of us. Because Tottenham could, as I said, I think it was yesterday, I put the question out there. I did it on Twitter. And actually, it was a really interesting poll. I said on Twitter, Johnny, I said, here's the permutations of how Tottenham can qualify for Europe next season. Obviously, Europa League victory gets you in the Champions League. Other than that, Europa League is going to be a stretch in the league. And so Conference League can drop to 7th or even 8th, depending on whether or not the English coefficient gets them one of the spots in the Champions League, but also it requires the FA Cup to go towards a team that's already qualified.
I think we're coefficient in the Champions League. We're almost nailed on for that 5th spot.
Well, Italy certainly won't be. They've crashed out. And then it comes, I don't know whether Holland might. Anyway, long story short, the Conference League might drop to 8th, right? And so we're 9 points off of 8th right now. You've got Fulham, you've got Brentford, Villa, and someone else that's occupying the spots above us in that race, and they're quite far. They're, I think, 9 points ahead at the moment. My point is that in a world where you don't win the Europa League, then you are going to have to take these league games seriously. So, given that you've got a route that's wrapped around the 2 legs against AZ Alkmaar, you've got Fulham, Bournemouth, and City. And 2 of those games are 3 days after the European ties. And Bournemouth was 4 days before. We're busy again. We've had a couple of weeks off. And after Ipswich, we get a week. After City, we get a week. But after that, it's back to twice a week for the next 5 games.
I don't want to hear this complaining by Ange. We got 2 games a week, got 3 games a week. If you want to be bloody successful and you want to be up there, we need to be playing the games. Last year, we were complaining we only had 41 games, the least amount we've had for like 17 years or whatever. So, I don't want to hear that complaint. I want to be playing. If you're doing well, you're playing every 3 days. It's as simple as that, right? So I don't really want to hear that nonsense. For me, though, I think, the Europa League is the be-all and end-all. It's a game changer. It is a complete and utter game changer for us, Sean. I really do think it is. And what will we get? If we get the Conference League next season, we'll have everyone.
Would you take that?
Well, if I have to. But what I'm saying to you is that we're all going to be moaning, let's concentrate on the league. It's a shit trophy.
I won't be.
I know, but the Europa League is a far bigger trophy
of course,
historically and what have you. So I'm just saying that right now,
so full strength every game is what Peter's saying. Are you saying the same, mate?
Game, full strength every game. I don't want to hear it. They're professional footballers. We've got a squad of 25. We've got some unbelievable kids, right? Let's play them. Like, stop the nonsense. Stop the nonsense. Stop with the excuses. And look, if we go out, it's 2 games in Europe, which we should believe, right? Nonsense. He doesn't have 11 players out now, okay?
No, he's saying it's nonsense. I think he's on your side, mate. I think he's on your side. He's on your side. He's saying it's nonsense that he's agreeing with you. I think, JJ, I think so.
I'm used to being attacked.
No, don't you agree with me?
I'm used to being attacked, JJ, so apologies, right? I'm used to it. No, but listen, I think we go. Look, it's 2 games. If we beat AZ Alkmaar, right? Which we should. How's that interfering? No, I wouldn't have seen anyone complaining if we'd made Wembley or we'd made the next round of the FA Cup. We're not in the FA Cup. We're not in the final. So we don't have those games. And we got the kids. We got the kids. And these kids aren't crap, right? They're not crap.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah.
Simple.
No, I hear you, mate. I hear you. Listen, I think so. We're saying we both agreed. Then we're probably thinking Real Madrid, Bayern Munich in the final. I'm rooting for Bayern Munich because I want to like amplify as many reasons for Harry Kane to be okay coming back as possible.
Can we do a poll, Sean? Can we do a poll again? We love a poll.
1s and 0s.
One for play them full strength. 0 for rest players. 1 full strength. 0 rest.
Just by the way, I don't know. Do you know off the top of your head where this is the fixtures after that particular round? Do you know off the top of your head the dates of the quarterfinals? Where would they slide in there?
March.
Do you know?
Sorry, April the 7th, in between Southampton and
April
Forest.
the 7th, and then in between Forest and Liverpool as well. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll be playing Frankfurt after Wolves. Oh, sorry, before Wolves and after Forest.
I'll have a look.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting.
April. It's the 7th of April, I think, something like that. It's after Southampton. No, it's after Southampton and after Forest, I think. Sorry, Forest. Yeah. After Southampton and after Forest. So it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. Oh, sorry, after Wolves. After Wolves. Sorry. Yeah. Beg your pardon.
Yeah, we have to go full strength. For me, it's the only way to focus on.
What's the poll saying?
Is there a super chat? I missed the super chat, have I? Oh, I'm sorry, Faz. Didn't expect that. So I didn't see it, mate. Real Madrid will win it again, no question. Arsenal laughing. Yeah, it's not going to be Arsenal, is it? Thank you, Faz. I didn't read your super chat. Sorry, mate. I just had that now. Thank you very much for it. Yeah, I think we both agree that Real Madrid are probably going to be the favourites there. Obviously, have to get past Liverpool in the semi, which is always going to be interesting. If who knows, man? Who knows? There's some absolute belting ties in both competitions. Yep. No such thing as an easy game anymore. Some teams will fancy themselves over others, but there's always some surprises as well. And just for what it's worth, I think everybody has agreed with you, apart from Matt Watson, who's gone all the zeros. JJJ was right. He was right first time. Yeah, he was on your side. But everybody else has gone all the ones. Full strength, take it seriously. Matt Watson, not sure why you're saying no to it. Let me hear your take on that. But everyone else is saying, let's go full strength.
Saying no, Matt, just out of curiosity.
Give you 30 seconds, mate, because we're going to round it off. Guys, at 5 o'clock this evening, in 3 hours, we've got the new show. It's called On the Other Hand. And it's somewhat like a bit of a remix of The Devil's Advocate, where you're going to get disagreements. Hopefully it's going to be intelligent conversation, but ultimately what I'm hoping to experiment with is the idea that people that feel strongly about certain things, they might have to, depending on what happens, I haven't figured it out yet entirely, but they might have to end up defending arguments that they don't agree with because of a lottery of whether you get given the pro or the con on a particular topic. So it's not just about seeing how good someone is at their side of the debate. It might be seeing how good they are at debating in general and how they can with a straight face make. So you might see Ian Lubo, for example, having to explain why Daniel Levy is the best chairman ever. You might see myself having to explain why Levy out is the right mechanism.
I'm going to come on, Johnny. I think I'm going to come on and join.
Yeah, you're going to come on.
Yeah,
Johnny wants a piece of the action. It should be fun. And we're going to have 4 different panelists every week, every Friday at 5 p.m.
He's going to make me say that Brennan Johnson's the greatest signing Spurs have had in decades. Yeah.
Listen, it might be that way. It might be.
Tino Werner was an inspired signing.
100%. It should be. We tried to do this when I was brand new to content. About 2.5 years ago, we were trying to do it, and it was funny as hell because Brian Daigle was one of the guys on the panel, and he had to make the argument that Daniel Levy was far better than he or than anyone would justify. And to be fair to Brian, he tried his best, but after like 30 seconds, he pissed himself laughing. He goes, "I can't do it. I cannot do it. Daniel Levy out. He's a mug." So we're gonna test the waters of everybody's ability to get through. But listen, it might not work out that way. It might be that the person who's Levy out gets to explain why Daniel Levy is the worst chairman in the business. So we will see how we go. But that's happening at 5 o'clock. Jonny, where can people find us, mate? Where can people find you?
Well, first of all, guys, if you're here now, please, before you log off or go, please get down to you've put the link of Football Inc. Where have you put that, Shawnee? Have you put that into the?
It's pinned in the comments, so it should be right at the very top of the comment section.
If you hit at the top of the comments there, just go there and give us a sub. If you're new to the channel, and by the way, subscribe is not that you're paying any money; it's just you get a notification that Sean and I are going live. And as I said, whereas Spurs Sports Show, Spurs Talk Show will be obviously everything about Spurs. Football Inc. is going to be everything about football, and obviously Spurs will be in it, but there'll be just about everything that we can think of that's going on. And hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the comments. More comments. Yeah, algorithm love to comment. Algorithm, and thanks a lot, guys. Give me a follow here on Talking Tottenham 1882 on Insta, and those on X already know me.
We will know Jonny from X, and
we're on Last Word of Spurs tonight as well. Sean and I are doing the draw, aren't we? Tonight.
Yeah, we are. So as soon as the 5 o'clock, as soon as on the other hand is finished, we're literally going to hang around till the end, and then we're going to redirect everybody straight over to Last Word on Spurs. But then you get to see more of my ugly fat mug and some of Jonny's beautiful chiseled jawline good looks. And we're going to be joining Dave from the Irish Hotspur and, of course, the wonderful Ricky Sachs over there at about 6:45. So UK time. I look forward to seeing you all later on, guys. Go and enjoy yourself and come on the Spurs. Come on the everyone, whoever you are, wherever you're watching. Subscribe, hit the links and all that stuff. And we'll see you later. And as always, it's goodbye from him.
It's goodbye from me.